Most welcome to yet another video, and I am toying with the idea to start working with some thematic games in the Sicilian defense. And this will be the first one. I will see where it takes us. I am not completely sure exactly how to put it, but I wanted to show some games starting with opposite castle kings against the Najdorf or Scheveningen defenses, as they are very popular and also very sound, good defenses for black. So the first game we will discuss is a game of myself from 2007. It was played in the highest league in Sweden in the team competition for the Swedish championship. At that time I played for Uppsala. I have played for many different clubs, mainly because I have been moving around in Sweden, and I actually have been in the winning three different winning teams who has got gold medals in this team competition. But with Uppsala we had a good team, but normally we were ending on the lower half of the table when we play in the highest league. I am playing the white pieces. At that time, 2007, in November I think it was, I had 23-8 in ELO. My opponent, Andreas Landgren, a strong player, on 22-13. So, here we go. I started out with pawn to Q4, pawn to Q4. And Landgren responded with pawn to Charlie 5. Pawn to Charlie 5. I followed up with knight Foxtrot 3, knight to Foxtrot 3. And black replied pawn to Delta 6, pawn to Delta 6. Here we are at crossroads, but yeah, I would say that the two strongest moves in this position is bishop Bravo 5, that I have not played a lot at all. I don't know really why I haven't dealt with it so much in my career. I went for the other strong move, pawn to Delta 4, pawn to Delta 4. So now we are heading for the open Sicilian, which is often leading to very exciting games, I would say. I played it a lot, both with white and black. Black played Charlie takes Delta 4, Charlie takes Delta 4, and I recaptured knight takes Delta 4, knight takes Delta 4. Black headed for knight Foxtrot 6, knight to Foxtrot 6. And I played knight to Charlie 3, knight to Charlie 3. Here we come to a very interesting situation. Yeah, we have an interesting moment in the game here. Black can play pawn to Golf 6, that would be the dragon variation. Pawn to Echo 6 would be the Scheveningen variation. Not so popular these days, but I think it is very playable. Black can also opt for the so-called classical Sicilian with knight to Charlie 6, knight to Charlie 6, which has become topical the last years when people, strong grandmasters, want to get They don't want to go into the Najdorf, but anyway, look for a fighting game. Then they often go for the classical Sicilian with knight to Charlie 6. But Landgren, he went for probably the best move, pawn to alpha 6. Pawn to alpha 6. And now we are in the territory of the Najdorf variation. And here I would like to talk a little bit about how to choose opening variations. In 2007, I didn't spend much time on chess. Of course, I had spent awfully many hours on chess in the 1980s and early 1990s when I was playing professionally. But 2007, I had my doctoral degree in the history of religions. I spent a lot of time with research and building my academic career. So I didn't have much time, and now we are in one of the most complicated lines of the Sicilian, with a lot of theory. It was back in 2007, but the theory was really gigantic even in these days. Now it is even more so. So what kind of line should I go for? I like to play fairly aggressively. So early in my career in this position, I sometimes have played bishop to Charlie 4, followed by castle's king side and pawn to foxtrot 4, in the spirit of Bobby Fischer. But that was quite long ago, maybe in the late 1980s. I had also gone for the so-called English attack, with pawn to foxtrot 3, bishop to echo 3, pawn to golf 4, and so on. But that also had a lot of theory that I wasn't up to date with. So instead I went for a line that seemed quite innocent, but that actually has a lot of poison in it. And that we will see right now. And this is an advice to you if you are not full-time players. Don't always go for what is most topical. Try to find something that you like to play, where you understand the ideas. So I went for bishop to echo 2. Bishop to echo 2. And this is a line often followed, white follows up with castle's king side, bishop to echo 3, and then slowly playing on the queen side often with alpha 4 and so on. But that is not really what I'm aiming for. In this position, black has in general two main moves. Echo 5, that I would consider the best move. White often then plays bishop knight to bravo 3. You could also play knight to foxtrot 3 here. That is a bit more positional, I would say. Following up maybe with bishop golf 5. Often the knight drops back to delta 2, coming up to Charlie 4. So I have tried that as well back in time. But I don't really like to have the knight on foxtrot 3. I often go to bravo 3 in my games. So that we would have seen probably if my opponent had played echo 5. Of course, black could change his mind and go for the dragon here with golf 6. That could be interesting, as white has not played the best line against the dragon, then with bishop to echo 2 is a bit tame. But I still think that white could play for attack. Bishop echo 3, queen delta 2, bishop to hotel 6 in the future, and probably castles queenside anyway. But black went for what I would consider the second best move, pawn to echo 6. Pawn to echo 6. This is similar to what Garry Kasparov played in the 1980s. Often he wanted to have more dynamic possibilities. When the pawn is on echo 6, black has some more chances of pushing delta 5 in the future. And he has not weakened the square delta 5 either, as he would have done after pushing echo 5 instead. The chess engines clearly favor having the pawn on echo 5, but it leads to another kind of position. So pawn to echo 6 has some good and bad sides. The bad side of it is that it gives white a freer hand in the center. And we will see how I can quickly gain space on the king side, which would have been more difficult had the pawn been on echo 5. So I went now for bishop to echo 3. Bishop to echo 3. Yeah, bishop to echo 3 is, still we have the possibility that white goes castles kingside. And yeah, playing like a lot of games in the Kasparov matches in the 1980s, continued white played pawn to alpha 4, pawn to foxtrot 4, after castle and kingside, maybe queen to echo 1, with the idea of queen to golf 3 for kingside pressure. So, still, we don't really know what will happen, but we will see in a moment. Black played bishop to echo 7. Bishop to echo 7. And here I kind of decide on the character of the game. I played queen to delta 2. Queen to delta 2. And still, now it is possible to castle either kingside or queenside. But my idea is to push the pawns up on the king side and go for castling long here. Black played knight to Charlie 6. Knight to Charlie 6. And that move I would consider as a slight inaccuracy. It is not a bad move, but normally I would favor to have the knight on delta 7 in such kind of positions. And why is that? Yeah. First of all, it doesn't block the Charlie file, and the knight, I think, is more flexible on delta 7. It can go to Charlie 5 and put pressure on echo 4. It can also go to Bravo 6 and then jump up to Charlie 4. Of course, it has to be protected. So, following this line of thought, queen to Charlie 7 would be a stronger move, I would say. Maybe that would be better than even bishop to echo 7. Directly queen to Charlie 7. The queen should be on Charlie 7, so that you can put the knight on delta 7 and push Bravo 5, without that white knight can jump in on Charlie 6. So that is also why the queen should be on Charlie 7. But yeah, still knight to Charlie 6 is not a big inaccuracy, but I think most experts on these types of position would go for queen to Charlie 7. All right. I played castle's queenside. Castle's queenside. And black went for castle's kingside. Castle's kingside. So now we reach opposite castle. Yeah, the castles are opposite sides, of course. And the plan for white here must now be to throw the pawns on the king side up the board to open files on in front of the black king. Black already has a half-open file on the queen side. Actually, the Charlie file where white's king is placed now. So for black, it would be to try to push Bravo 5. Probably black has to change knight first on Delta 4 so that Bravo 5 wouldn't lose a piece, and then try to go for queenside action. The problem with black's position, in at least a bit of a problem, is that if you have to exchange knights on Delta 4, white can recapture with the queen. And yeah, even the bishop, but I normally prefer capturing with the queen. And from Delta 4, white's queen can take part very effectively in the attack on the black king, eyeing Golf 7. Yeah, the knight from Foxtrot 6 will be chased away by when white pushes the pawn Golf 4 and Golf 5. So then, yeah, we will see how it turns out in the game. That's better to go for the concrete. So I played pawn to Foxtrot 4, pawn to Foxtrot 4. Yeah, grabbing space on the king side, controlling Echo 5. Black played bishop Delta 7, bishop to Delta 7. It's a too slow move, I would say. The bishop from Delta 7 doesn't really add much pressure on white's position. And I think black should have gone for an immediate exchange on Delta 4, followed by, yeah, probably followed by Bravo 5. Sometimes black even might go for a pawn sacrifice with pawn to Echo 5. Yeah, after exchanges on Delta 4, white's queen will be there, so that black maybe has to give up a pawn, but opening more files. That is an idea that often comes to mind in these types of positions. It is interesting that Stockfish 17 considers the position as very advantageous for white. More than one pawn up. Almost two, actually. After, yeah, we go ahead, some more moves. So black is far too slow in this position. So what I would say, it is a problem with knight Charlie 6. You have to play very precise in order not to really get into trouble as black. So I played pawn to Golf 4, pawn to Golf 4. And black played knight takes Delta 4. Knight takes Delta 4. And I played queen takes Delta 4. Queen takes Delta 4. In this position, black could play pawn to Echo 5. That would be a sacrifice. After Foxtrot takes Echo 5, Delta takes Echo 5, Queen takes Echo 5. But I think this would be the relatively best black can play here. Following up maybe with Bishop to Bravo 4, but white is clearly better anyway. But it is also perfectly understandable that black still thinks that his position is okay. It is on the verge of losing, actually. But that is not easy to see. Black played Bishop Charlie 6, Bishop to Charlie 6, putting pressure on Echo 4, but that pawn is well protected already. So I pushed pawn to Golf 5, pawn to Golf 5. And black dropped back with the knight to Delta 7. Knight Delta 7. So, we can say that the first stage in white's plan is carried through. Black pieces have been pushed back. First of all, the knight from Foxtrot 6 has left the king side, which means that there are fewer pieces protecting the black king. The second part of my plan here is to move the hotel pawn up to hotel 6. When the pawn reaches hotel 6, white threatens queen takes Golf 7, checkmate. So black has to, when that happens, black has to react, probably by pushing the pawn up to Echo 5. But that would be with the cost of weakening the square Delta 5, and that we will see happens in the game. It can be very difficult, actually. It is not always so that the weakening of the pawn on Delta 5 is detrimental or anything. By no means. It depends on, you have to look at it from case to case. But in this position, when white has moved up the pawns toward the black king, it is very risky for black to see the white knight coming up to Delta 5. But that we will see in the game. So that is the plan I had. And it is not so easy for black to do anything against it, actually. I played pawn to hotel 4, pawn to hotel 4. Black pushed pawn to Bravo 5. Pawn to Bravo 5 looks perfectly reasonable. I played Rook Hotel to Golf 1. Rook Hotel to Golf 1. This is not the strongest move according to Stockfish. Instead, Stockfish suggests that I should immediately go for Hotel 5. But I was a bit concerned about weakening my pawn on Golf 5. I thought if black could play Echo 5 and then white's pawn on Foxtrot 4 disappears, then if I had pushed Hotel 5, then the pawn on Golf 5 would be weakened. Black might capture it. So I didn't want to take that risk. I also consider the rook very well placed on Golf 1. It is not a bad move. It is the third best move according to Stockfish. But Hotel 5 is probably the strongest one. I wouldn't argue with Stockfish on 3600 in rating. So, alright, Rook Hotel to Golf 1. Black played Queen to Alpha 5. Queen to Alpha 5. Here, white could, of course, consider stopping black's plan, that obviously is to push the pawn to Bravo 4. Keep in mind the idea of playing Alpha 3 and then sometimes even playing Queen to Bravo 4, changing character of the position. If there would be an exchange on Bravo 4, Queen exchange, then White would continue to put pressure on, for example, the pawn on Delta 6, or even continue pushing the pawns on the king side, Foxtrot 5, and so on. But Alpha 3 wasn't necessary, because I spotted that I could go directly for the throat. I played pawn to Hotel 5, pawn to Hotel 5. This actually needed a bit of calculation. I think I started doing the calculation really after when I played Rook Hotel to Golf 1. Then I should have seen what happens in the game. Because if I can't play very sharp here, then black might get good counterplay on the queen side instead. So if you play sharp here, you have to calculate a bit. If you want to take smaller risks, then the pawn on Alpha 3 to Alpha 3 would have been a better choice. But now we went Hotel 5. Black pushed pawn to Bravo 4. Pawn to Bravo 4. So now you see, black seems to be doing very well in this position, isn't he? The knight is attacked on Charlie 3, and where should it go? If it retreats to Bravo 1, then black can even play Queen takes Alpha 2, and then continue, for example, with pawn to Alpha 5, Alpha 4, and so on. So it seems like White suddenly is having huge trouble. But that is not the case at all. I continued my plan, pushing pawn to Hotel 6. Pawn, Hotel 6. And now we have the threat that I mentioned earlier on. Queen takes Golf 7. And with the rook on Golf 1, it is not nice for black to, for example, push pawn to Foxtrot 6. The golf file will be opened. So black has to play the most natural move, I would say. I still think that black thought that he was doing great here. He played pawn to Echo 5, pawn to Echo 5. So now White seems to be in even deeper trouble. Both the queen on Delta 4 and the knight on Charlie 3 are attacked. But there is a solution to the problem. Move the knight. Knight Delta 5. Knight to Delta 5. Pretty nice move to play, I must say. The best move for black here is actually to exchange on Delta 5. Bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop on Delta 5. And then there will be exchange of queens, queen takes Delta 5, and rook takes Delta 5. And this might not look so bad for black. But it really is. Stockfish evaluates the position to more than 2 pawns up for white. Because the black pawns on Delta 6, Alpha 6 and Bravo 4 are actually very weak. We can think of a scenario when black plays Echo takes Foxtrot 4, white plays Bishop takes Foxtrot 4, black plays Knight to Echo 5 or something. Then white can even involve the rook from Golf 1 in the attack on the black queenside pawn. Rook to Golf 3. Maybe white continues then with Alpha 3, and then there will be an exchange. Bravo takes Alpha and Rook takes Alpha 3. And white has strong pressure on the pawn on Alpha 6. This is just a demonstration of an idea for white. But yeah, it's very difficult when you start to have a deeper look at it, to defend the pawns. That is why the chess engines consider white's position as winning. Yeah, so bishop takes delta 5. That is not really what you want to play either. Rather, black wants to go for it. He captures my queen. Echo takes delta 4. Echo takes delta 4. But I will grab a piece first of all. Knight takes Echo 7 check. Knight takes Echo 7 check. And black played king to hotel 8. King to hotel 8. And here white has to be a bit careful. It is important to open files all the time here. So it might look very tempting to play, for example, bishop takes delta 4, but then it might be possible for black to protect the Golf 7 with rook Golf 8, for example, giving back my I'm not sure exactly what I thought of, but when I played rook hotel to Golf 1, I analyzed this position, of course, and came up, and I also played it. Hotel takes Golf 7 check. Hotel takes Golf 7 check. And black plays king takes Golf 7. King takes Golf 7. So the H file is half open. The G file is also half open. And now I play bishop to takes delta 4 check. Bishop takes delta 4 check. And here we can see that black really is in deep trouble. Because if black would push foxtrot 6, that looks very natural, then white just played golf take foxtrot 6, double check, both from the rook on golf 1 and the pawn on foxtrot 6. Let's say that black tries to escape with the king, playing king to foxtrot 7. Then white can play rook golf 7 check. The king drops back to echo 8. And white plays knight takes Charlie 6. From echo 7 to Charlie 6. Grabbing the bishop and threatening both the queen on alpha 5, knight takes alpha 5, and rook echo 7 checkmate. So black's king can't escape. That is the point of hotel takes golf 7 when I saw it, that black has to stay with the king on the king side. He can't run away and will continuously be exposed to white threats. So black had to play knight to echo 5, knight to echo 5. But this is of course a completely lost position. White is down the queen, all right, but I have already regained a piece on echo 7, and both the bishop on Charlie 6 and the knight on echo 5 will be lost. So I regain a lot of material for my sacrifice queen. You just have to see these ideas in advance and Of course, it is easier to see them if you have seen similar games as this one. And of course, I had seen, when I played this game, of course, I had seen similar attacking ideas as I carried through. At the end of the 90s and at the beginning of the 1990s, I played for Vasa Chess Club in Stockholm, and there I analyzed similar positions, for example, together with my friend and Grandmaster Tom Wederberg. Was very good at carrying through such attacks with the white pieces. Often he did it from the English attack with Bishop Echo3, Pawn to Foxtrot 3, as I mentioned earlier on. But yeah, similar ideas came up in this game as well. So it made it easier for me to find them in this game as well. So I played Knight takes Charlie 6, Knight takes Charlie 6. So now I got 2 pieces for the queen, and the queen on alpha 5 is attacked. So black played queen to alpha 4. Queen to alpha 4. Here are different ways to play. The best move according to Stockfish is knight takes echo 5. But for a human, it is more natural to play it a little bit safe. Here it is like I have already done my job. I don't want to have more complications. I just want to collect material and continue the attack. So here I wanted to play it a bit safe and put the pieces on really harmonious squares where they could not easily be attacked. So I played knight to echo 7, knight to echo 7. I still have time to capture the knight on echo 5. It will not run away easily. And the knight on echo 7 can land on foxtrot 5, for example, later on, or yeah, even delta 5. But foxtrot 5 seems very tempting, often very tempting in these kinds of positions. So black played rook foxtrot echo 8, rook foxtrot echo 8. Of course, there are other possibilities, but they won't make much of a difference. I played pawn foxtrot takes echo 5, foxtrot takes echo 5. And you might ask, why didn't you protect the knight on echo 7? Actually, foxtrot takes echo 5 protects it, because if black would play rook takes echo 7, I played echo takes delta 6. Discover check from the bishop on delta 4, and when the king moves, I can grab the rook on echo 7 with my delta pawn. So it is actually indirectly protecting the knight. So black played delta takes echo 5 instead. Delta takes echo 5. And I played knight to foxtrot 5 check. Knight to foxtrot 5 check. Yeah, why did I play that? Maybe it had been possible to play knight foxtrot, bishop takes echo 5 check instead, but then the king would have gone to foxtrot 8, and yeah, I still think it would be maybe it would be an okay position for white, but now I have got 2 pieces on the echo file that are under attack from the rook on echo 8. So white's position would lose a lot of its harmony. So instead I dropped the knight to foxtrot 5 check. So black played king to hotel 8, king hotel 8, and I played pawn to bravo 3, pawn to bravo 3. And this is an important moment in the game also. That is the idea why I didn't take on Echo 5 earlier on, that I had this pawn to bravo 3 idea. Because if black's queen now would capture on alpha 2, I would play bishop bravo 2. And the bishop very well protects white's king position. And having the pawn on bravo 3 makes it very tempting to put the bishop on Charlie 4, from Echo 2 to Charlie 4, with pressure on foxtrot 7. And then you can jump knight delta 6 or knight hotel 6, capture on foxtrot 7, and the attack would continue rolling. So here, as a human player, not a chess engine, you rather look for positions where your pieces will be placed in a very harmonious way. That is better, even if it would be that you don't take all material given to you. It is better to keep the position harmonious, not giving black any chances. Black played queen to Charlie 6, queen to Charlie 6, attacking the pawn on Echo 4. But I play bishop bravo 2, of course, bishop to bravo 2. And black captures, queen takes Echo 4, queen takes Echo 4, and I played bishop delta 3, bishop to delta 3. So in this way I protect the bishop that was on Echo 2 that was under attack, and the knight on foxtrot 5 that was under attack. Black plays queen to foxtrot 4, queen to foxtrot 4, and I play king to bravo 1, king to bravo 1. So black has won a pawn, and now it is like white has 3 minor pieces against the queen. But the biggest problem for black is that, it is of course the very shaky king's position. Whereas you can see that white's king is very well protected now. I have a kind of fianchettoed bishop on bravo 2, eyeing the king on hotel 8. So the pawn on Echo 5 is pinned. Yeah, so it is very easy win this position for white. Black plays rook alpha delta 8, rook alpha delta 8, and I played rook delta foxtrot 1, rook delta foxtrot 1. Black played queen to delta 2, queen to delta 2, and I played knight to hotel 6, knight hotel 6. Yeah, now there are various threats, of course, in the position. Knight takes foxtrot 7, check, and also would fork the king and the rook on delta 8. even the pawn on Echo5 would be under attack. Rook takes Foxtrot 7 seems very interesting, threatening Rook takes Hotel 7 checkmate. Of course, Black could think of playing Rook takes Delta 3. That would be possible. Giving up a bit of material. Charlie takes Delta 3, Queen takes Delta 3, check. The king would run to the corner, King Alpha 1. And yeah, White's position, White's attack would continue. That's for sure. One could, of course, even think of throwing in after Rook takes Delta 3, Knight takes Foxtrot 7 check. Maybe it is not even necessary to grab the Rook on Delta 3. Maybe one can play something with Knight takes Echo 5 or something. But yeah, why not grab material and then continue the onslaught? So Black instead played Rook Delta 5, Rook to Delta 5, protecting the pawn on Echo 5. That is, yeah, essential for protecting the Black king, of course. So I played Knight takes Foxtrot 7 check, Knight takes Foxtrot 7, and Black played King to Golf 7, King to Golf 7. And I played Pawn to Golf 6. Pawn to Golf 6. And yeah, here it is. The important thing is to open files. Pawn to Golf 6. Yeah, Black can't really play Hotel takes Golf 6. It would come maybe Rook takes Golf 6, and the end is near. So Black instead played Pawn to Hotel 6, Pawn to Hotel 6, trying to keep files closed. But now there was a small trick. I played Bishop to Charlie 1, Bishop to Charlie 1, attacking the Queen, and when the Queen moves, I have Bishop takes Hotel 6. Yeah, we see how it happened. Queen to Charlie 3. Queen to Charlie 3, Black played. And Bishop takes Hotel 6 check. Bishop takes Hotel 6 check. Black has exactly one square to choose from, so to say. King to Golf 8. King to Golf 8. And when your position is harmonious, the moves come pretty natural to you. Bishop to Charlie 4. Bishop to Charlie 4. So now the Rook on Delta 5 is attacked. And sorry. Of course, if it moves, the Bishop from Charlie 4 would have a diagonal towards the Black king, and the Knight could just jump away from Foxtrot 7 with a discovered check. Check from the Bishop. So instead, Black played Queen Delta 4, Queen to Delta 4, and we know that this is a team composition, and Black continues playing, I think, for keeping up the team moral a little bit. Had it been just an individual game, I think that my opponent already would have resigned. Yeah, but anyway, I played Bishop takes Delta 5, Bishop takes Delta 5, and Black played Queen from Delta 4 takes Delta 5. Of course, I could have abstained from capturing material here, but it was also natural to do it because I could at the same time see how the end would come to the game. I played bishop to Golf5. Bishop to Golf5. And Rook Charlie 8. Rook to Charlie 8 followed. And I played Bishop to Foxtrot 6. Bishop to Foxtrot 6. And Black played Queen to Echo 4. Queen to Echo 4. Threatening on Charlie 2, of course. Although even if Black would capture on Charlie 2, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe. Why should we discuss it? Because it is a forced win for White. I don't need to let Black take. I play Knight Hotel 6 check. Knight Hotel 6. Black plays King Foxtrot 8, only move. King to Foxtrot 8. And I push Pawn to Golf 7 check. Pawn to Golf 7. And here Black resigned. So, what would we take with us from this game? Yeah, I would say that when I played Bishop Echo 2, I hoped to play such a sharp idea with Bishop Echo 3, Queen Delta 2. That was already on my mind. I didn't know whom I was going to meet in this game. So I had not prepared anything special before the game. This was something I had looked at home earlier, but yeah, not recently when I played the game. But I like this idea, Bishop Echo 2, Bishop Echo 3, Queen Delta 2, castles queenside, and then see what happens. This is maybe something not so bad way to handle the positions. If you are not up to date with theory, look for something that resembles the lines that you played when you knew a lot of theory, like the English attack. But go a little bit off beat so you don't get into a lot of theory. The things that we should think of as Black in this kind of position is that if you play pawn to Echo 6 in these kinds of position, that is very risky. It will be far easier for White to attack you because you have given White a lot of space, and the pawn instead should be on Echo 5, I would say. Pushing back the knight from Delta 4, either to Bravo 3 or Foxtrot 3. This makes it easier for Black to defend. And if you now went for Echo 6 like Black did in the game, rather play Queen Charlie 7, Knight Bravo Delta 7, Bravo 5, Bishop Bravo 7, and such moves would be better than the Knight to Charlie 6, which is not terrible, but it helps White to put a very strong Queen on Delta 4. The Queen would be in a very strong position there. And also, finally, when the Queen is on Delta 4, the plan is to run up with the Hotel Pawn to Hotel 6, provoking Black to play Echo 5, and then you have the possibility to jump in with the Knight to Delta 5. These are the ideas that you should keep in mind. And I hope that this can inspire you a little bit how to play against the Najdorf. See, it's as I mentioned, it's far more difficult if black plays Echo 5. So I think I should look for some games with suggestions for you how to handle these positions. I do not claim at all that white would be very much better or something, but it gives good practical chances, and that is what matters here. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.